So we could see, like your book calls it the ability of substitutes, but it might be more than that. Think about the life-saving medication we talked about. Like if there's only one drug aid that's going to save me from imminent death, I would be willing to pay a very high price. That's going to be very much like this. I'm willing to get rid of other things in order to buy just that one thing. It's not only because there aren't available substitutes, but because it has high importance in my life. So the level of importance, the level of necessity, right? So the availability of substitutes is almost almost the point, and that's what your book talks about. But it is in general the ability of a human being to substitute, right? And within the market, that has more to do with the availability of substitutes. But there's a lot more to it, substitution. The second one is the passage of time, right? So, talk about gasoline. All right, well, in 2021, the car I bought was a strictly gasoline combustion engine that only took gasoline. And I was consuming at a certain level, right? But over the course of time, I eventually bought a hybrid, which reduced my consumption. So given enough time, I can reduce my consumption. Right now, with the price of gas rising, I do have the hybrid, so I buy relatively less than I used to. But, if more time went by, maybe I could just decide, okay, well, this is too expensive. I'm going to go with a cheaper alternative. I'm going to use the bus. I'm going to use Uber. I'm going to rely on friends or coworkers for rides. I'm going to do something else, carpooling, car sharing. Any of those other substitutes are available to me given enough time, right? So it is possible that the demand for something could be inelastic in the short run and elastic in the long run. So don't think of elasticity as a quality that is just attached to the good or service itself. It's a whole set of circumstances surrounding that good or service. Now, this is going to determine the elasticity, but because time is there, we've got long run and short run. So short run elasticity might be a lot lower than it is in the long run, as in the case of the gasoline example we talked about. And then the other one is the share of income, the significance of the purchase in dollar terms. How large an item is it? We do find in general that the demand for large ticket items, what are called large ticket items, things that cost more money, like washers, dryers, dishwashers, air conditioners, things of that nature that are larger purchases, tend to be a little more elastic. Same thing with luxury goods. They could be luxury goods, luxury items like boats, jet skis, things of that nature that I could be elastic with that because I don't have to make that purchase right now. It's a large purchase in my life, and people tend to give a lot more thought to that. So like small percentage changes in the price can represent a large chunk of your income. A 1% change in something that costs $100,000 is $1,000. A 1% change in something that is $1 is 10 cents, or no, 1 cent. Sorry, 1 cent. So a 10-cent change in a $1 item is a large percentage. It's a 10% change, but it might cause a very, very small change in the quantity demanded because it's such a small increment of money. The financial change, the dollar value of the price change is a small percentage of my income. Let's call it that. Let's say it that way, right? So the share of my income represented by that purchase is a factor in the elasticity as it relates to me, right? And then we find broadly that the larger the items, I'm not going to say that for sure, but larger ticket items tend to be more elastic for that reason. So small changes in the price can represent a large amount of money, which is a large share of our income.